I've got something new to unbox, but it's not coffee. So what is it? Hello again, I'm Nick, new and watching WasntMyFault. As I said, it's not coffee, it's whiskey, specifically Islay whiskies, which is obviously a type of Scottish whiskey, if you don't know, from a particular island on the southwest coast, I believe. Now, they produce a bunch of whiskies that are very, very smoky, and that's what I really want to try. So, a very good friend of mine sent me this. She knew I was dabbling into whiskies and quite liked the really, really strong peated smoky ones. So she got me this tasting set, drinks by the dram. So let's have a look. So obviously on the back it tells you a little bit more about it, but let's just jump straight in and see what we've got. Very nice packaging. Came as quite a surprise because I did not expect it, so it's quite good. So here we have the box that it is. So this card, as you can see, it's tasting notes. So for each one there is a card on the front. It has tasting notes to tell you what to expect from the smells and the tastes. And then we've got nose, palate and finish. On the back is some blank spaces for you to fill in what you find. So everyone's slightly different and everyone has different experiences in their lives and that's used to different smells and different tastes, so you may find different things. So that's going to be quite good. I shall put that to one side for now. Here is the box itself. Let's remove some of the packaging. You'll see there are, is it five different bottles of Islay whiskey. If you can see those. Right, so let's have a look. So Laphroaig, what age is it? 8-year-old, pretty nice. I don't know how well you can see that. They are quite small, but it's perfect for tasting. It's quite light in colour, because most people expect whiskey to be really, really strong coloured, but it does depend on how old they are. What are the next ones? Bunnahabhain. I may not pronounce it right. There you go. What age is that? I'm not even going to pronounce the name of that. I have no idea. You can see that. I will put links in the bottom to tell you a little bit more about each of the whiskies. That one is a 46%. That's quite strong. What was the Laphroaig? Is a 48. So they're not typical. A lot of whiskies tend to be watered down to 40, so that's quite good. Coiler. That is a 12-year-old, 43%. So not bad strength. Again, it's interesting seeing. You see all the different colours. That quite pale, a little bit more orangey to it, and getting darker and darker. Oh, I can't wait for this. So it's Laphroaig 10, 40%. That's one I really, really want to try because that is a very popular Islay whiskey. It's one of the very, very most popular ones. So that'd be good. The Bowmore or Bowmore or Bowmore. I'm not sure. I've heard it pronounced a few different ways. Bowmore, I think, is possibly right. That is a 12-year-old, 40%. Very good. So we need to see what they're like. Now, I've only tried one Islay whiskey, and it was quite a cheap, no-brand one from my local supermarket. So I have Glencairn here. So you see the tulip shape means that all the fragrances, all the smells you'll get from it are all funneled up to the top to your nose, so you can smell it a little bit better. So it just all helps. Where do I start? I have to Laphroaig. I really, really, really have been looking forward to this. I want to try the Ardbeg as well, but I'll do that another time. Methinks I might need a knife. Give me a second. Okay, so I have a knife. Yes, it's my batarang knife. Does not leave that. This is not something very nice. So I got to be very careful with this because it is incredibly sharp. Right. Oh, this is definitely an unbox, isn't it? Wow. I did not expect them to be covered in so much wax. Makes sense. Oh, I'm going to wax everywhere with the box. Right. I'm going to make sure I take all the wax off so it doesn't accidentally get into the drink. Yeah, I'm not used to this. Oh. Da, 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 da. Here we go. Oh, yes. I'm not going to have too much of each because I have 5 to go through here, so a little bit, and plus I want to savour it for later as well. Just have a little bit of each. Especially since some of these are well over 40%. Okay, wow. Swirl it around a little bit to be pretentious and also to help the smells come out a little bit, so. Whoa. First hit, smoke. So that's the peatiness, definitely. Smoke coming through. Not as medicinal as I was expecting. Now the other one I've got, I said it's quite a cheap one, which I might do a review of later if anybody actually watches this. Who knows? There's a much stronger kind of iodine, or some people say plasters, band-aids, depending where you're from, or like TCP, Germaline, that type of thing in a lot of them. I'm not getting as much of that. It's a lot more smokiness, but I'm not getting a lot else yet. I'm still new to this. I've not had a lot of experience with a lot of whiskies, so slight salty brininess, kind of like sea salt air I'm getting from it. There's a little bit of the kind of Germaline, but not a lot of the medicinal stuff in it at all. What does it say I'm missing? So what am I missing from this? Let's see. So it's one of those things that it's going to take me a while to get used to it, but it'll be quite interesting. Alright, so it says, it opens up on big, smoky, muscular peat notes, yeah, spices and licorice, as well as a big dose of salt. So I've got the salt, I've got the smoke. This whiskey has become slightly sweeter in recent years and appears beautifully on the nose amidst the classic iodine, sticking plasters and the cool wood smoke we love. So that's quite interesting. So there's apparently licorice as well and some spices, so it's very difficult. I'm just going to jump straight in, or this is going to go on forever. Let's try. Whoa. There's a lot more wood smoke than I was expecting. Quite salty at the end, a little bit medicinal, not a huge amount compared with some of the other one, like the other one I've tried. It's more in the kind of aftertaste. You get the kind of like the medicine-y, Germaline-y type of flavour to it, which isn't bad. It's odd to say that it doesn't taste bad when you get that, but it's actually quite good. But it is the wood smoke. It almost feels like I've eaten kind of like charcoal or something like that. Not quite charcoal, it's kind of like campfire smoke, but you can kind of taste it. It's really, really woody. That's a lot more woody than I was expecting. See, I'm not smelling the smoke quite as much now. It's still there, but there's other smells coming through. And a black peppery sort of smells to it. More iodine-y that time. Not quite as strong, sort of woody campfire kind of smoke flavour to it. Quite salty aftertaste as well. So, what does this say? Seaweed led. I didn't notice the seaweed as much. For me, it was the kind of woody smoke a lot more, with a hint of vanilla ice cream and more than a whiff of notes from the first aid box, TCP, plastics, etc. The oak is big and muscles its way into the fore as you hold this whiskey over your tongue. An upsurge of spices develop cardamom and black pepper chili. Well, there's the black pepper. I found that. I did find a lot of that. I didn't find much of the vanilla ice cream, but I don't really eat a lot of vanilla ice cream. So, finish big and drying as a savoury, tarry notes build up with an iodine complexity, which is, I kind of got most of that. That's quite interesting. That's going to take some getting used to and some interest. That I do like. That's not what I was expecting. I was expecting a lot more of the sort of iodine, medicinal kind of flavours. I know a lot of people kind of describe it. I've heard it described as a cigar smoking walrus. Mermaid's bathwater was quite an interesting one. I found it more tame than that, to be honest. It's definitely got the woody smoke is the first thing that I kind of noticed, especially on the taste with that one. I need to get some water to rinse off my glass. I'll be right back and I shall try Lagavulin. Be right back. Okay, so on to the Lagavulin, which is another one I have heard of. So this should be interesting as well. I'm not going to cheat and sniff it until it goes in, as it may just be I'm not putting enough in the glass to be able to really appreciate it. But we shall see. But look at the difference in colour. Only a 2-year difference in them, so there's something else they're doing that's making the difference to it. So this should be quite interesting. Both single malt, as you would expect. I think they all probably are. Yeah, they all are. Doesn't quite mean what most people expect it to mean, but I'm not going to go into that because I'm not an expert and I'll just sound pretentious and stupid, so I'm not going to bother. So, oh, there's nowhere near the kind of smoky. More kind of generic whiskey, kind of the sort of smell you'd expect from like a Scotch. That's quite interesting. It's completely different kind of smells. A little bit more sweetness to it. It's hard to pick everything out. It's so different than anything else I've had so far. I mean, sort of generally, not just today, because I've only had one so far. Or I really would be sounding stupid, so. More vanilla in it. There's not a lot of woodiness. There's woodiness, but not woody smokiness. What am I missing? What am I missing? Lagavulin. Okay, what does it say? Alright, salted popcorn, honey roasted nuts, tarry ropes, and a light hints of freshly chopped cedar. A touch of burnt sugar sweetness lingers. So, salted popcorn. A little bit of saltiness. I'm not really getting the corn though. Honey roasted nuts. Slight. The sweetiness I was on about could be kind of that. This thing, it's weird trying to describe what you're smelling because there's so many different smells. That's the, I can smell the woodiness. Once again, cedar, possibly. It depends because I know what it smells like, but it's trying to kind of link up what you're smelling and your experiences of it to kind of get you in that place. That's where this is going to take a lot of practice and lots of whiskey. So, not a bad plan, but seriously, yeah, there's definitely a lot more sweetness. Oh, that comes from a completely different angle. It's like the smoke has flipped around, slightly sweet to start, and then it goes really heavy smoke, like really heavy smoke. Oh, and it just really kind of drying as it's kind of disappearing, and the saltiness comes after, and it's really salty on my tongue. Completely different to the other one, which was really strong, a lot more saltiness at first, and really wood smoke and just really strong, and that is just really salty aftertaste. Some slight fruitiness to it and a little bit of sweetness, but it's the saltiness that really just kind of stays with me quite a bit. Not much medicinal, a little bit of the kind of medicinal quality to it, not a huge amount. This is the salt that's really getting me. So smoky peat appears first on the palate. I found it second, followed by coriander seed, barley sugar, cumin powder, smoked kipper and marzipan. Really? So on the finish, layers of apple crumble, toasted almond and ash. Another kick of cooking spices right at the end. No, it's salt I'm getting right at the end. Lots and lots of salt. Maybe I just, trouble is, I'm not a sweet person. I don't like a lot of sweet stuff, so I'm trying to find the kind of sweet smells. Let's find out. Once again, it's that's a lot more spice. I can kind of feel the spiciness on my tongue as it goes down. When it's enough, there's quite strong kind of alcohol-y flavour to it. A little bit of sweetness, but there's a smokiness. Once you swallow and your mouth doesn't have any liquid in it anymore and it's gone, that's when the smokiness really kind of hits. And then it sort of fades away, slightly sweet, and goes straight into the salt. And it's just like lingering salt. That's interesting. Every time I swallow, it's just salt. That's very strange. They're so different. Next one. A little bit of. Right. The Coiler, because I have heard of that one. They are quite well known. I believe a lot of their whiskey is used for blends of a company. So blend is just basically a mixture of different whiskies, either from the same distillery or different distilleries. So you'll find a lot of blends in the supermarket. Sometimes they can be a lot cheaper than the singles, because obviously they are made up of all different things. But just because it's blended doesn't mean it's bad, or that it's cheap. You can get expensive pretty much anything, really. It all depends how old it is, how rare it is. That's the big thing, is how rare and difficult it is to get. If it's very difficult to get, it's going to be more expensive. Yay! Come on, in we go. Oh, hi. Right, so the Coiler. Lighter than the Laphroaig. My fingers are just going to smell of whiskey, because these things aren't great for pouring. Similar kind of colour to the Lagavulin. Alright. What will this be like? I'm expecting this to be slightly milder again. What age is it? This is a 12-year-old. So for 12, it's got quite pale. Slight smokiness to it, not a lot. Pepperminty? More like the kind of leaves you get sometimes on desserts. Is that kind of peppermint, not kind of full on like peppermint you get in sweets or candies or that sort of thing. It's kind of like the crushed leaves. I'm getting something sweet in there as well. What is it? Not much smoky or medicinal qualities to that. Let's have a look then. Fresh, herbal, rubbed peppermint leaves. Hey! Stemmy damp grass, smoky, oily cigar leaves, smoked ham, hickory, lemon peels at the harbour. So, I'm getting the citrusy stuff. Definitely citrusy. Slightly salty. Damp grass. I'm not getting that. Ham. Very faint meatiness to it, I guess. Once again, it's the wood smoke comes at the end of the flavour. Sort of an oiliness to it. Not a lot of salt. There's a little bit of salt left on the tongue, but not as much as the other two. Slight sweetness. None of the peppermint that I could smell. Definitely not. Not tasting any of that. Okay, what does it say then? Good body, oily, tart, elegant smoke, hints of bold sweets. Finish, long, peppery, spicy, warm for smoke. So I'm getting a lot of it. It's going to take me a while to kind of get all the notes and the smells and the flavours right, but said that's just going to come with experience and doing this more and trying to get used to more flavours and trying to find flavours and smells and identify them is the big thing with this. It's just getting used to it, I guess. I'm not getting a lot of the sweetness that a lot of these say they've got in them, but that's just me. I don't tend to pick up on sweetness because I don't like a lot of sweetness, so it's maybe not something I'll notice because I don't expose myself to it that much. So it's probably difficult to find it if you don't experience it. It's one of those things. It's all about personal experience and your personal journey. If you don't experience something, you couldn't say to somebody that tastes like pork pie. If you've never had a pork pie, telling somebody it tastes like it is going to be completely useless. And it's the same with a lot of this. I won't necessarily know what a cedar note smells like if I don't know what cedar smells like. It's been a while since I've smelled any cedar, so trying to remember what that smells like and associating it with the smell is going to be a little bit more difficult than it might be for somebody that experiences a lot. Cedar smoke, I've smoked barbecues before using cedar, but that's probably been 15 years, so I'm a little bit out of touch with that sort of thing. Let's just leave that on and just get on with it. Glass first. Okay, so this one is the Bunnahabhain, which was it's not got an age statement, but it's 46% with that bizarre name that I will not try and pronounce because I will butcher it because I'm no good at things like that. Okay, what is this gonna be like, I wonder? Compared to all the other ones, there is such a difference. I was expecting Islay whiskies to be kind of similar, and the heavy smoke and the heavy medicinal properties, but they are so totally different. It's got a really light smoke to it. Now that one I do smell a bit more kind of vanilla-y. What else? I can't quite tell. It's a lot sweeter. I'm not getting a lot of the sea kind of salt to it. I must admit, not much at all. Very slight hint of it, but it's more vanilla-y, slightly wood smoky. Oh, definitely sweetness to it. That's annoying. Brine, toasted sugar and caramel drizzled raisins. There you go. That's what it says it's got on the nose. So I kind of got there. So toasted sugar, caramel drizzled raisins. Yeah, there is a slight fruitiness to it. It's one of the things when somebody says it's got this, and then you can kind of smell and say, oh yeah, is it psychosomatic? Is it because I've been told it's there, or do I actually experience it? I'm not sure, but I do kind of find it. So I did say it's a little bit salty. I don't know if I'd say it's a strong brine, but definitely a bit of salt. Not a lot of wood smokiness to that. There's a little bit in the back end, just the flavours kind of disappear. It's kind of a little bit of smoke kind of drifts in and then goes away and then leaves with a little bit of salt at the end. Not a huge amount, not like the Laphroaig, nowhere near that salt. Just a little kind of hint of salt at the end that I can just kind of feel there. Mouth just a little bit. Not overly sweet. There's more sweetness than there were in the other ones. Let me try again. I really don't know. That is difficult. honey roasted nuts, cinnamon, cloves, that's what it. Touch of sea salt, sherry peels, and chili chocolate. I'm not getting chocolate, but I'm not finding the sweet ones. It's something I'm going to struggle with all of this. I'm not good at sweet notes. I'm not good at that. Honey roasted nuts, cinnamon, yeah, it does have, I can feel it on my tongue, it does have that kind of kick. And the cloves, definitely some cloves, and the sea salt. This is very interesting. I'm finding out about myself and about whiskies. Quite interesting. Much water as I can, so I'm not tasting them with water this time. I may put some water in them later and see if it pulls out any of the flavour notes better, because sometimes water can do that. You can ruin a whiskey with water as well, I guess, but you could also bring out the subtleties. Because if you take away some of the strong flavours, like the strong alcohol flavours and things like that, especially these that are not typically really low, 40%, some of them are. So this is the Bowmore, however you want to say, 12-year-old. This one is one of the darker ones, if not the darkest of them. I'll have to check. Right, that'll do. Don't know how to do it. Again, these bottles are great, but they're not great for pouring. So I'm getting them all over my fingers. Right. Let's let this settle for a moment. How are we doing on time? Yeah. Not the end of the world. Alright, so. This is a lot more subtle. Now I was expecting all Islays to be really strong, in your face, smoky, and like the peaty. That's what I mean by the smoke, is the peat smoke. Really, really strong, which I do quite enjoy, I must admit. I don't smoke, I've never smoked a single thing in my life, but I like the smell of campfires and all that sort of thing. I'll probably get that from my mum. She loves the smell of matches for some reason. I don't know. Wow, there's a weird sweet note I'm trying to figure out. I feel slightly apple, like kind of like toffee apple type of thing. Not getting a lot of smoke. I'm not getting much sea salt either, which I would expect. There's no kind of brininess. I'm not picking that up at all. It's a lot sweeter. Okay, I'm just gonna. Coastal smoke and ash soon make way for bergamot. Okay, orange zest, lemon slices, some hay before becoming rather floral. Heather smoke and competing with the ash. Not getting a lot of that. Bergamot possibly, because my favourite tea is Earl Grey, so there's possibly a little bit of that in it. Maybe it's just because I've had some other stronger ones before, but I'm getting kind of appley fruitiness to it. Definitely more floral and that sort of thing than the previous ones. There's a lot more subtle, a lot friendlier, I guess. Right. The smoke there's a bit of a kind of smokiness at the end, but it starts off, compared with the others, that is really sweet. It's a lemony kind of vibe to it. It's the sweetness that gets me though. That is really, really sweet compared with all the other ones. Not much of a brininess. I'm not feeling much of a kind of salty aftertaste. It's very, very faint, but not a lot of it. It's more citrusy and kind of lemony and that sort of thing. I'm going to jump straight and see what it is. Lively and rounded, lovely and rounded even, honeyed even. Okay, so lovely and rounded, honeyed even. Initially vanilla, perfume, smoke and coastal elements develop. Dark peat, blossom, oily sweetness. And the finish, smoky and long, sea spray, seagrass and a touch of ash and citrus. It's the citrus and the sweet, it must be then the vanilla, I guess. That's what I'm picking up more than anything. There's some smokiness I can still sort of feel is lingering with a little bit of saltiness. That's interesting. Not what I was expecting, which is, it just shows how little I know yet about whiskey, how different each of these is. This is exciting, because I've got loads of others. I really want to try the Ardbeg. That's what I want to try, because those are supposed to be really, really strong. Out of these, the one I probably enjoy more is the Laphroaig 10, because that's, I suppose that's what I was expecting more from the Islay whiskies, is that peatiness and the medicinal, because it's really unusual for a drink to have something like that. Well, for me anyway, when I'm not used to these kind of things. I've had lots of other things like Jack Daniels, a few different whiskies, Glenmorangie and Glenfiddich, and obviously all the different bourbons and Jack Daniels, and I've tried all that sort of stuff. I've not really gone deep into the Scotch like this, so I've got a long way to go and a lot to learn. Definitely Laphroaig 10, that's the one that sticks with me from those. Just because for me it feels more like what I expect from this type of whiskey. I've got lots to learn. I do have a little journal that I'm actually keeping all my whiskey notes as I'm tasting different things. So then I can go down the line later on when I've got kind of used to it and developed my skills at kind of smelling and tasting, then I can go back and go, oh, I didn't see that, I did see that, and kind of develop it along that way. So it should be quite interesting. But I've enjoyed this. But it makes no sense to anybody out there, and I can't help that. I'm still learning. Like I said, I'm still new to this. I've not tried many different ones, and it's a journey, and I'm just beginning. So bear with me, and hopefully it'll get better and more interesting. So thanks Tom for watching. Please subscribe and like and comment, and let me know if you struggle with any of these, like finding some other notes, or if you just think they all taste the same. Let me know. I'm quite happy to discuss things. I want to learn a bit more and kind of understand them better, which I think would be quite interesting. So thanks a lot for watching. Come back and see me again soon. Bye bye for now.